A very good evening to everyone, and I welcome you all to the fourth session of our, DH lecture series. And today we have Sumita Sen, and for our, to introduce her, may I request my colleague, Dr. Rachel. Uh, Rachel, the floor is yours.
Yeah, like Natasha said, we're absolutely delighted to have you with us, Ms. Sumita Sen. And for our students who were really looking forward to this session, I imagine. So, Ms. Sumita Sen is a regional training and implementation manager for South Asia and Southeast Asia. And she's also worked with groups in the Middle East and Africa. And she has more than 20 years of experience in training small and large groups across diverse industries. She has an MBA in HR and she's a certified instructional designer and a certified MBTI professional. So, welcome to this session, and we're really looking forward to learning from you more about training and training as a corporate career. We're really excited. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome. And I think let's just get started without much ado. So just let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Sumita, and I work with Oxford University Press as a trainer. And I think I've been a trainer for forever. I don't think there's any other job I could do better than I do. I could do justice to any other job. So honestly, training is my passion. I enjoy being in a classroom. I enjoy interacting with people, and I learn. The most important thing is that with every training session, I have learned something. And to start the session, I'd like to just give you start with one of my favorite quotes, which is, "There is no teaching, only learning." No one can teach you. You keep on learning till you die. Every interaction you have with another human being, every interaction you have when you're traveling, when you're working, anywhere, you do learn something. So, like the strapline says, the future of training is tightly tied to the future of work. Because if you want your work to be better, you have to constantly keep upskilling yourself. And that is where training steps in. So, this is our agenda for today. I'm going to talk to you about what is training, facilitating versus teaching, and what is pedagogy versus andragogy. What does it take to train adults? It's very difficult because when you're training adults, they come with mostly managers, doctors. They come with this hat of, "I know it all, and I don't have the time to sit through your session." So, what does it take to train adults? The key skills that are required to be a trainer. We'll talk about scaffolding, how it helps. It's another part of training, and how you can make your sessions interesting. So, I'll begin with a story. I'll begin with how I became a trainer. I started working at the age of 38. I was a housewife before that. I had no exposure to the corporate world. Before I got married, I was a school teacher teaching class 5 and 6 English and geography, but that's about it. And being a housewife for 13 years, I didn't even know how to start a computer. So there was this advertisement in the newspaper which said basic computer skills and good English speaking uh, required. And it was like a walk-in. I walked in and I cleared all the rounds. So I didn't know what a call center was. I didn't know what a BPO was. I really had no idea. And I, of course, didn't clear the tech round, but because I cleared, and there were 8 rounds. We went through 8, I had to go through 8 rounds. And apart from the technical round, I cleared all the rounds. I didn't know what I was going to do, what my job would be. It was a technical support for Dell computers. Imagine somebody who said, the only thing I know about a computer is how to shut it down. They asked me, what do you know about the computer? I said, I only know how to shut it down. That's it. So I didn't even know what my job would be. When I walked into training as a trainee, and of course, we were being taught about the computer and all of that. And we used to have 2 hours of communication skills. And there was this young trainer who would come and teach us, how to take calls and how to. When he would talk about grammar, I would constantly button because I knew it at the back of my hand. Like I could just come out with the rules of grammar. I would turn around and say that no, this is an intransitive verb, or this is a problem with the third law of subject, the third rule of subject verb agreement. And he obviously didn't like it because he was a young guy. He was probably 27, 28 years old. And that's when I realized this is the job I should be doing. This guy is standing and teaching a bunch of adults how to speak in English without knowing the rules, and this is something I should be doing. And that's how it kind of set in. Of course, you don't just become a trainer. For me, at least, it wasn't like that. So I started taking calls, and I think I must have taken calls just for 2 or 3 months when my one of the clients heard my call. You see, business is outsourced to India. So that is the time when I was taking calls for HP, Hewlett Packard. And the client heard my call and he said, this lady is too good. What is she sitting and doing by taking calls? She should be helping people on the floor with their calls. So that's how I moved into floor communication support and eventually ended up becoming a voice and accent trainer. So that is how I moved in a span of 18 months to 2 years from being and I think I took calls only for 3 months. So that was my movement. That is my entry to the training world. And I realized that training and development is a continuous process. You don't feel that, okay, I've done this session, so I know everything. Every time to improve, it's just like sharpening the saw. If you don't sharpen your saw regularly, the number of trees you cut will definitely diminish. So training helps you to improve skills, to gain more knowledge, because every day there's something new happening, newer concepts coming in. And of course, it helps you to change your attitude through structured and planned education, which helps in improving the productivity and performance of employees. You constantly learn. And there is a difference between facilitating and teaching. Now, when you were in school, you had teachers who told you, do this, do that. It was all, at least my generation was black and white. There was a blackboard, the teacher wrote with the chalk, and we followed everything to the P. We did exactly what our teacher said. So if our mom and dad said, no, this, you can do it this way, and you said, no, my teacher said this. So teaching is different. Facilitating is where you are helping adults learn. You are not telling them what to do. You are helping them discover. You take out ideas from them. You ask them to give you solutions to a problem. And honestly, each one has a different perspective. What is 6 to you may be 9 to somebody else. So facilitation is actually helping adults learn. And the primary difference between teaching and facilitating is clearly given in the slide. Teaching is teacher centered, where the teacher says everything and we follow it to the P. Facilitation is student centered. We encourage people to learn. The teacher is a subject matter and delivery expert. We know whatever the teacher says is right. But a facilitator also learns with you. If you come up with a newer solution, you turn around and say, wow, that's something new I've learned. I didn't know that we could do it this way also. So she also progresses with you. And teaching concentrates on individual conduct, whereas in facilitation, we always make sure there's a lot of group work. In school, you have marks, there is a report card. And when you're in training, you are just graded A, B, C, D. And whether it is A, B, C, D, it is actually, it's a group. You know, the group wins, your team wins. Teaching talks about what we did, the 3 R's, whereas in facilitation, we help you to recognize, reflect on what you're learning, try and put it back into practice. It, like in teaching, it's always about theories. This is what Newton said, this is what so and so said. But in facilitation, we talk more about experiences. You know, I had this and this is what it went. And then we link it to a theory. So I'll give you a little nice short story. Just to tell you how it works. You know, Scandinavian Airlines. Now, this is a story by Jan Carlson, who's a management guru. If you can, get hold of his book, Moments of Truth. It's a beautifully written book on real experiences. And he tells us the story about Scandinavian Airlines. Now, there was a time when Scandinavian Airlines was running huge losses. They tried everything. They tried downsizing. They tried cutting down on costs, charging people for. Even then, in spite of all their efforts, they couldn't even break even. So, no matter what they did, it didn't work. That's when Jan was asked to step in. So, he studied how things were operating. And as a business traveler, let me ask you, please feel free to unmute yourself and speak, because I prefer to have interactive sessions. So, as a business traveler, what is the first thing that you look for in an airline? Anyone, please.